let's start with a debate crypto TA staple. The bigger the base, the higher in the space.
Dude,
So
I love it.
if you look at the Bitcoin 2-day chart, did I pull this up right here? Okay. You're going to see Bitcoin in a base. It hasn't really done anything since June. Okay. And it's starting to pop its head out of the top of this base. Now, it's not fully there yet, but it's percolating. Now, what goes up or down a certain way reverses in the same fashion. So high school physics, speed, magnitude, and direction. Interesting that in March of 2022, Bitcoin goes straight down, makes a base. Therefore, if it comes out of the base, it should go higher in the space, potentially retrace the whole down move to 48K. So that's chart number one. And then chart number two is this gigantic disconcerting diamond formation in ETH versus Bitcoin. This seems to be a very convincing breakdown out of the bottom of the diamond formation. Diamonds are hugely powerful patterns. Part of me hopes I have this wrong, but this shows that Ethereum could dramatically underperform Bitcoin, or Bitcoin could make some huge leap forward relative to the rest of crypto. So I'm like, all right, bigger the base, the higher in the space, and Bitcoin could do better than everything. How do I figure this out? Over to ChatGPT. Okay, currently there are $17 trillion in uninsured deposits in the United States. So the Fed's doing $2 trillion. That's cute. All right, $17 trillion in uninsured deposits. Okay, right, that is crazy. And I say, all right, this is a good old-fashioned bank run. You got $17 trillion on a hair trigger going, where can I go? Right? That's why stocks might have a bid temporarily, right? They're like, oh, just get me anywhere but a bank. Okay, so I asked the computer, if 10% of that money goes to Bitcoin, what happens? So $1.7 trillion in Bitcoin buying over a 9-month period. So ChatGPT, because it's a computer and it doesn't know any better, it says, all right, well, if the price is 24K and you need $1.7 trillion worth of it, that's 70 million Bitcoin. And I'm like, well, the computer knows. It's like, hey, there's only 21 million. And I bet only 10% of that is available for trading based on volume stats at Binance. Okay, so ChatGPT comes up with one upside target based on this. It says, all right, if everyone really buys, you get an absurd target of 264K. Okay, the lowest case scenario that it came up with, interestingly, was 18K, right? So, if there's a problem with S&P or, all these things that could definitely happen, I'm really interested that it came up with 18K based on this thing about the deposits. Now, its middle scenario, okay, which is to basically say, all right, it could go way up or it could go back to 18. But the middle of the road scenario, if everybody who's got a bank deposit has to FOMO into Bitcoin, it's 84K. Now, I can dial it back because, like I said, returning back to, ChatGPT is just a computer. It's interesting, right? It thinks 84, and I got the bigger the base, the higher in the space to 48. So, okay, maybe, yeah, we're going to have consternation in the stock market for sure. But after you get that dip, right? After you get that flush in stocks, assuming it's not a calamity, I mean, there's a lot of money looking to chase Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin gets out of this range, man, the cat's going to be out of the bag. And that's how I came up with what I came up with.